Are you wondering how I clicked these super sharp images of one of the most elusive creatures in the world? Stick around. In this video, I'll tell you all about how I clicked these pictures. First, I want to thank you for watching my previous videos and leaving comments. Your comments are a realistic guideline for me to understand what information you found useful and what information I need to further clarify in future videos. I hope you leave a comment for me at the end of this video. During the lockdown, I launched a live workshop over Zoom called Develop Your Creative Eye Through Mobile Photography. In this workshop, participants learned how to be mindful of the things around them and how to correlate between people, places, and situations and photograph their lives in an aesthetic manner. I continue to offer this workshop in a very unique format on a month to month basis, which consists of live video calls, video tutorials, and messaging apps. We'll work together and get a clear idea of the kind of pictures that you want to click and the stories that you want to tell. I'll then introduce you to certain concepts and you click pictures and send them to me over messaging apps. I'll give you feedback and you watch your pictures improve every single day. Please have a look at my website www.girishmenon.com for more information about this workshop. The lesson that we can all learn from wolves is unity. They are always living in harmony in their packs, just helping each other, loving each other. It's just a wonderful sight to sit and watch them. I used a Nikon 200 to 500 millimeter lens on the Nikon D500 camera, and I photographed these wolves from a car using a beanbag. I set my autofocus area to single point and maneuvered that single point to the eye of the wolf. It obviously, using a beanbag makes it much easier to do this as compared to hand holding a lens like this for longer periods of time. A 400 millimeter lens would have not been sufficient to click these pictures. Most often when clicking birds and wildlife, we require a lens that can zoom in to at least 500 millimeters. And that's where this Nikon 200 to 500 lens is so helpful for beginners. They also have the 500 millimeter PF lens, which is smaller and lighter, but also over three times more expensive. However, there are certain photo opportunities which that lens is better suited to. We also have certain generic lenses that zoom up to 600 millimeters. However, when you look at pictures clicked with those lenses, look at the out of focus area. The out of focus area appears extremely flaky, and we can easily tell that they were clicked with a amateur lens, whereas pictures clicked with this 200 to 500 or the 500 PF or even the Canon 100 to 400 Mark II, you see the out of focus area going so much more out of focus that your subject really stands out. I'd been trying to track these wolves for over 3 years, and we'd go to these places and try and find pug marks and any clue, any clues to just get a sense of where these wolves are. On occasions, we would get a glimpse of these elusive creatures late in the evening when the sun's set and it's too dark for photography, sometimes very early in the morning, but never, I never encountered a decent photo opportunity. Then all of a sudden, in 2022, there were lots of wolf sightings happening near Pune, and these sightings were happening on privately owned farmlands. This is the sugarcane belt of Maharashtra, and you have lots and lots of sugarcane plantations everywhere, and these wolves just love taking refuge in these sugarcane fields, and somehow these fields protect them from the harsh afternoon sunlight. Wolves are nocturnal animals, and they spend their nights hunting and looking for food, and when the sun is about to rise, they retreat to their resting places, which in this case are these sugarcane plantations. On the third day, I got lucky, and that's because it was the monsoon season and a very overcast morning, and so the wolves decided to stay up late. They were running around, playing with each other, scratching. It was just the most awesome sighting I could hope for. I set my autofocus mode to continuous so that way even when the wolves came closer to me or went further away from me, the camera continued to track focus. I'm invariably always using the widest aperture on my lens, and I can afford to do that with most present day zoom lenses because they are super sharp even at their widest aperture. Having a wider aperture lets me use a lower ISO value, which means better image quality. Spending time in forests and in the wilderness has therapeutic effects, and I know you know all about that. And very often we do need to carry plastic water bottles and other food in plastic bags and things like that. But please make sure that you do not dispose any plastic in the forest or in any place where it cannot be properly recycled. This is a wonderful example of symbiotic relationships between man and animal, where these animals take refuge in man made habitats. Wolves have been wiped out in many parts of India as humans continue to encroach forest land for agriculture. As we continue to use more and more land for agriculture, wolves don't find the space to dig their dens and reproduce, and as a result, then their numbers are on the decline. If you know of any organization that's working towards the conservation of wolves, hyenas, foxes, and jackals, please do let me know. So now you know all about my encounter with these wolves, which I hope will encourage you to go out and experience nature for yourself. I'm Girish Menon, and you can learn photography from me over live one on one video calls from anywhere in the world. Please have a look at my website www.girishmenon.com to have a look at the courses that I offer.